How did it happen that the majority of the corruption wound up being on the Democrat side?
Well, because the transfer payments, especially to illegals, are very much on the Democrat side.
So that's the root of it all, is the illegal situation,
Yes, I mean this.
or a
I
focal
mean,
point.
yes, it's also like um, it would also be accurate to say that while like, obviously not everyone who's a Democrat is a criminal, almost everyone who is a criminal is a Democrat.
And
New York and California would be bankrupt without the massive fraudulent federal payments that go to those states to pay for illegals, to create a massive financial incentive for illegals. In a nutshell, the Democratic Party wants to destroy democracy by importing voters. That's why I call them zombie payments. That they might have been legitimate at one point, but the person who approved that recurring payment changed jobs, died, retired, or whatever, and no one ever turned the money off. And my guess is that's probably at least $100 billion a year, or maybe 200.
and going where?
To uh, I mean, there are millions of these payments, so it's. I mean,
Millions.
yes.
Millions of payments that are going to who knows where.
Yes, so in a bunch of cases, there are fraud rings that operate, professional fraud rings that operate to exploit the system. They figure out some security hole in the system and they just do professional fraud. Um, and that's where we found, for example, people who were, 300 years old in the Social Security Administration database. That's why they don't arrest the drug dealers. Because if they arrest the drug dealers, the drug zombies leave. So they know who the drug dealers are. They don't arrest them on purpose, because otherwise the drug zombies would leave, and they would stop getting money from the state of California and from all the charities.
Wait a minute. So you say
It's dark, man.
Is that real? So they're in
Yeah.
coordination with law enforcement on this?
Yeah,
So how do they have those meetings?
they're all in cahoots.
Well, when you find
It's like it's this is a diabolical scam. And San Francisco's got this tax, this gross receipts tax, which it's not even on revenue; it's on all transactions, which is why Stripe and Square and a whole bunch of financial companies had to move out of San Francisco because it wasn't a tax on revenue; it's a tax on transactions. So if you did like trillions of dollars transactions, it's not revenue. You're taxed on any money going through the system in San Francisco. Um, like Jack Dorsey pointed this out, and they said like look, that they had to move Square from San Francisco to Oakland, I think. Stripe had to move from San Francisco to South San Francisco, a different city, and that money goes to the homeless industrial complex. That tax that was passed. So there's billions of dollars that go, as you pointed out, billions of dollars every year that go to these non-governmental organizations that are funded by the state. Like this, it's not clear how to turn this off. It's a self-licking ice cream cone situation. They get this money. The money is proportionate to the number of homeless people or number of drug zombies, essentially. So they try to keep that. They try to actually increase because that like in some cases like it's somebody did an analysis when you add up all the money that's flowing, they're getting close to $1 million per homeless per drug zombie. It's like $900,000, something like some crazy amount of money is going to these organizations. So so they want to keep people just barely alive. They need to keep them in the area so they get the revenue. So that's why, like I said, they don't arrest the drug dealers because otherwise the drug zombies would leave. Um, and but they don't want to have too much. If they get too much drugs, then they die. So they're kept in this sort of perpetual zone of being addicted, but just barely alive.
So yeah,
I mean, they're mutilating children.
yeah, yeah, and it's thought of as being kind.